Nate Tice, NFL Network, and Yahoo Sports, talking about what he sees in Taylen Green, the quarterback the Browns took in the 6th round.
If you want to get into what he could become, Colin Kaepernick. He moves kind of like Randall Cunningham, but it's kind of Kaepernick. It would be maybe his upside as a player. Not perfect, but a great athlete. He can kind of do some cool things as a thrower. But I liked him in a lot of aspects. I would say his underneath accuracy kind of hinders him, and that'll scare a lot of coaches and evaluators when you can't consistently hit like the 0 to 5 yard throws. But it's kind of the weird thing is that he actually becomes somewhat accurate, more accurate down the field. I have no stats to look at for this, but I know I can look it up in a couple minutes. But it is kind of like, and I think that's another knock is that he already works with a coach that gives him advanced offensive stuff. In Petrino, it wasn't like he was at a JUCO and then at Wyoming and then just was working with a guy that's like, oh my God, I actually have an NFL quarterback like Josh Allen. Petrino's actually worked with guys and kind of knows that depth. So maybe that knocked him a little bit too, where it's like, well, Petrino can't get this much consistency out of you. What can I do?
So Lance, Petrino was also the college coach of Lamar Jackson, and I like the pick. When you and I talked after the second day, I told you this was a guy I thought I'd like to see Monken with him.
Yeah, and you know what? Nate was a great interview. We got to interview him on 92.3. What a knowledgeable guy he is. So, yeah, for me, Taylen Green immediately brings in a guy, and once again, it strengthens that room. And I think he's in the mix for a run game. And it's not a gadget run game. It's not Wildcat. It's the +1 run game. And if you think about the red zone, what do teams like to do in the red zone defensively? They like to bring the safety down, bring extra linebackers in. Now, if you have Taylen Green in the game, he's also a guy who threw for almost 10,000 yards. So he's not just a running guy, but he's a guy who's, he's got to protect the ball and all those things. But he's a guy who's been productive at a very high level. He was also freshman in the year in the Mountain West at Boise State before transferring to Arkansas. So now you bring him in the red zone, and he becomes the tailback becomes the fullback. Now, if you think about it, now you have an extra hat, and that's what the +1 run game is. So you could do different things with him in the red zone. And one thing I've learned being down there, and I always try to learn the game more and more every day, is that in the red zone compared to high school and college, it's an entirely different offense and how they do things and what they do. So I expect him to be an early red zone guy, an early short yardage guy, but not gimmicky, just a +1 with everybody on the offensive line doing what they normally do. You just got an extra blocker in there now.